Sweep of the Cubs and the way you guys played a role in your ability to come back today down 6-0?
Yeah, I think it did. I think what Zach brought up before the game today was exactly true, and that is, I think that coming back the other night against the Cubs in that game and winning the game ultimately, had a lot to do with the way that whole series went. And then I think today, guys, when Travis hit the home run, I mean, there was a lot of noise in the dugout. Let's just peck away here, and we did peck away and got back in the game. I
know you've spoken about it at times when the offense wasn't going well, the fact that guys sometimes try and do a little too much. Was today a perfect example of when everybody just tries to chip in, what it can lead to?
Yeah, I totally. I mean, we got some hits, we got some base on balls that were big. Guys, they just wanted to, you saw James Loney, in a situation where he had to get a guy over, got him over and got a guy in. That's baseball. That's how you're supposed to play it. And he didn't try to do any more than do his job. And I thought that was big. And our bullpen was, when your starter comes out of the game that early, you got trouble. And our bullpen did a great job tonight.
As much as Loney, you can clearly see the results with his batting average in certain situations. That play that you're discussing, the fact that he charged the bunt as hard as he did to set up the double play, are those the little things that he brings to the table as a veteran?
He does, Steve. He's a good baseball player. This guy is a good baseball player, and I said, he's one of those guys. If you just watch him play, he grows on you. He'll pop one out of the ballpark, but he's not a home run hitter, but he'll get a lot of hits. He'll hit something down the third baseline. And then he'll make some great plays defensively. That's what he is. And, that throw today was a great throw, and Flo came off and made another good throw to first. So it was a big play.
You talked before the game about Familia. He gets in these jams. Do you get nervous, or are you kind of almost at this point where you're used to it and you figure he's going to somehow find a way?
Well, he was so good last year, Zach. He didn't get in these kind of jams last year. He just, he seemed like he walked in and mowed guys down. But, because he has such a good sinker, you always think he's going to get ground balls. And so, as you saw at the end of the game, I mean, Dan Worthen standing next to me, and he said, just get a ground ball here. That's all he kept saying, just get a ground ball here, just get a ground ball here. And that's what he ultimately did. And with that sinker he's got, he trusts it.
Coming off what he did last year, I mean, for him to be where he is now, 29 of 29, I mean, are you at least a little surprised at just how good he's been coming off of?
Yes, because we saw early he didn't have his good stuff. He didn't have his good sinker early in the season, and yet he saved games, even though he got himself into some trouble once in a while. But he's been very, very good lately, and I got all the confidence in the world when I put him in the game in the ninth inning that he's going to shut it down.
Terry, when you look at the situational hitting, not only the lonely ground ball, the sac fly, even the bunt by Juan that sets up the winning run, can you talk about how your team has evolved to do more of that and how that has to keep continuing to happen to win?
Well, we have to put the ball in play better than we had earlier, and we'll take some hits. But again, Juan, that's part of Juan's game to be able to bunt. He's a very, very good bunter. But to advance runners with productive outs, those are big. Those are big things. Not everybody needs to hit home runs, and of course, Yo did what he's supposed to do in big situations. He came through with a great hit, but it was, the fact that guys took base on balls and moved the bat ball around today that just pecked our way back into the game, because you're down 6-0, and they got a pretty good bullpen and a good offensive club, and that's why I say for our bullpen to hold them back with no more runs, that's an outstanding job.
Of all the moments in coming back, were there one or two that started to make you think, hey, we're going to get this one?
Well, when Grandy hit the homer, and then all of a sudden we got a couple more guys on, I said, you know what, we're going to look up, and we're only 3 instead of 6 here. And I thought, if we can just be patient and not try to do too much, that maybe we can get back in the game, because we have that kind of power to do that. We can get a bloop and a blast and get right back in it, and that's kind of what we did early.
Terry, well, obviously the comeback must feel really good. Is there any level of concern with Harvey?
Again, I mean, I don't know if you were at the Washington game the other day. If you just saw him throw the other night, the answer is no. And then tonight, it was back to the command wasn't good. A lot of balls in the middle of the plate. Couldn't make his pitch. Didn't have the late life that we normally see. And so, I told Dan when he came out, I said, it's back to the drawing board. You got to go back and try to remake something that you did 2 weeks ago that made him look so good in Washington. So, but I'd have to say there's some concern, yeah.
JP?
Terry, was Addison Reed available today?
Yeah.
Okay, just want to double check.
Well, JP, we were running low on pitching. So we had, if you brought Addy in the 8th, and then you had to go to Familia in the 9th, we got one guy left. So I just said, look, we got to let Robles start the inning and see if we can use Jerry to get out of it, and then we still at least have a couple of extra guys in the bullpen. No, this is a holiday. Everybody knows that.
Last one.
Terry, do you think that Matt is, when he's out there, he's just like dumbfounded that he probably feels good, but the results just aren't there from game to game, and he's never had to go through this before?
Well, rest assured, he's never been through this before. And I don't know how he feels. I mean, I have an idea. But, you know, this was coming off that series, and as well as he threw in Washington. And, you know, I told you guys, he came to me the other day in DeGrom's game when the rain was coming down. He said, look, I'm fine if you need me to go out and start the inning. I mean, I feel great. So, yeah, we just got to figure out what's going on. And so we can, you know, at least have some type of an idea of how he feels. And, you know, Dan's talking about this issue with his delivery again tonight, and we got to get back and fix it.
Terry, just how big was this coming off the Cubs series to keep the momentum going and come back from a
Real
6-0
big, yeah.
deficit?
It's real big. It's, you know, there was talk, as you know, before the game, hey, is there going to be a letdown? There can't be right now. You know, we talked to the team before the Cubs series, and I said we got 11 games. We got 11 games. We got to grind it out 11 days, and then we got a nice little rest. But we got to grind it for 11 days, and if we do, you know, we'll be okay where we're sitting when we go into the break. And so far they've done that.